Hi, this is Stu from Mobile Geeks, and here we are in downtown Taipei. And instead of doing a regular, boring mobile phone review, we're going to review the OnePlus One by giving you a day in the life of the OnePlus One. We're going to see how the battery life performs. We're going to take it with us. We're going to show you basically what we're doing today on a Saturday afternoon. But we're going to start off here in the morning. We're going to go for breakfast across the street. This is a very famous douhua shop. It's sweet, it's icy, it's the best way to start the day on a hot and sweltery Taipei morning. So here we are enjoying some lovely douhua, and I have to say it really is very, very tasty, especially on a hot day like this. It's the perfect cold kind of breakfast, the best way to wake up. So here we have the OnePlus One smartphone, a 5.5-inch Android device which has a 1080p IPS LCD screen. Inside you've got a Snapdragon 801, which is clocked at 2.5 gigahertz. It's also got the Adreno 330 GPU inside, which probably is the strongest platform on the market right now. It's the memory. Inside you're getting storage of 64 gigabytes available. On the rear here you have a 13 megapixel shooter with dual LED flash. On the front you're getting a 5 megapixel shooter. It's running the Cyanogen OS, which is based on Android version 4.4.2 KitKat, and it's a very customizable, kind of very cool OS, which we're very happy to see on this device here. It looks great. So we've eaten our douhua, we've got a nice belly full of that. It was very fantastic and very refreshing. We're going to head off to a pool party in a moment, but before we do, I just want to give you a quick overview of what I think of the overall design and build quality of the OnePlus One. See, the OnePlus One is a real looker. I'm very impressed with this kind of chrome edging around the edge of the device, which has like the glass just seems to sit right on top. It looks awesome. And overall the build is very sturdy. I mean, you can feel that this guy would probably stand a good drop on the floor, which is useful for us with Nicole on the team. Now around the back here, this is a fantastic finish. This kind of feels like sandstone. It's very, I don't know, it's not plastic. I mean, they've done a very good job of making plastic feel not like plastic. Overall, the design and build quality of the OnePlus One is very impressive.
So of course, one of the best ways to cool down on a hot and sunny summer's day in Taiwan is to go to a pool party. So we're having a great time here this afternoon. But let's focus on the display of the OnePlus One for a moment. You can check this out. It's a 1080p IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen, and it looks fantastic. Look how clear and vivid those dark blacks are. They look very realistic, and the colors look very sharp. And you have to bear in mind that we're doing this outdoors. So even though it's quite a bright and sunny day, the display has plenty of brightness. It's very, very luminous and very bright. It's certainly one of the highlights of this device. Let's just check out the viewing angles here for a second. You can see that even though we're outdoors, it's still performing very, very well. Yeah, you can see, yep. They're as good a viewing angles as we're likely to see on something that isn't made by Samsung or Sony. So of course, while we've been down here at the pool, we've been taking plenty of photos. So let's just take a look at the back of the device here. You can see you've got a 13 megapixel camera plus dual LED flash, and that's a Sony Exmor lens, so it should be pretty decent. And that's actually just bears out to be true, because if you check out some of these photos, I'll just swipe here straight into the gallery app, and you can see some of these photos that actually look very, very impressive. If you zoom in here on some of the water shots, you can see that the water came out very, very detailed. Just go back into the app, you can see that actually if we just go into the settings here, we have a whole bunch of special modes: landscape, night, fireworks, action, slow shutter, HDR mode, and you can set these and customize them as you want. The only complaint we have is that they're actually just in a big long list. I think to less experienced users this might be a little bit confusing. Here we can turn aqua mode on or off, so that will be available in the camera app if it's turned on. But if we go back here, let's just look at the front-facing camera for a moment. So you can see that for some reason this is kind of defaulted to aqua mode, and we didn't do that. So I don't know, I think it's a great camera, it takes great shots, but in terms of software, it can be a little bit confusing and perhaps a little bit troublesome for less experienced users.
So we're done with our pool party, we're all clean and showered, and we're gonna go for a beer at our favorite bar, the Speakeasy in downtown Taipei. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at the software platform you're getting with the Cyanogen 11S OS here on the OnePlus One. Okay, so we're looking at Cyanogen Mod 11S, and we'll just start with the unlock screen. So you can see this is it, it's quite attractive. You just pull this down like so, and then there you are, you're into the OS. But you can also, as well as tap, tap, tap to wake it up, you can also pull in from the side here to access your camera directly. And we just go back. You can also, we'll just tap, tap to get it going again. You can pull down and access your quick settings here, as well as your full settings, like so. There are also quite a few funky gestures. If you want to just, you want your MP3s to play, you just pull down. Music begins, pull down again with 2 fingers, and it stops. There we go. There we go. You can also do the shape of a V to access the torch. A V again to turn the torch off. And of course tap tap just to go straight into the OS. So they've crammed in quite a few cool gestures and features, which actually we did have a few problems with once or twice on the road. Several times we managed to access the flashlight by accident, for example. But overall, it's a great OS. We can kind of take a look a bit more about how we can customize the front windows here. We just hold down. This goes into an area where we can change what kind of widgets we have got going on. We can add wallpapers. We can also change, or go back into general settings. We can also access that same area with this with the button in the bottom left-hand corner. We can choose which screen is the default screen, and also one cool thing you can do is you can choose what kind of scroll effect you have going. Right now we're using cylinder out. You can change it to accordion, like so. You can see this is an accordion effect in the background. We'll choose cube out, and we'll select that. So that's our cube out transition. Okay, so digging deeper into the settings here, we can see that we have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile networks, and the usual kind of VPN and tethering options just below that. And then we have lots of options with our personalization. If we options, as you would expect from Cyanogen. So here we go into themes. You can see that there are actually some theme packs installed. Right now we're using Hexo by default. This is the default setting for the OnePlus One. But there's also the Holo theme. We don't have to choose the whole of the theme. We can just select what aspects we want. So let's have the wallpaper. Let's choose the lock wallpaper and also the icons. And we can implement that by pressing update, like so. If we go back out, we can see now that that has been implemented on our front screen. So let's go back into settings once more. You can see that we can also control how the interface works. And here we go, we have our gesture shortcuts. So we can see that gesture earlier for the music, the flashlight, and the camera are all configurable from here. Just go out of that. You can, oh, let's go status bar and quick settings panel. But this is, I mean, some of this is familiar, which you will have seen on other Android implementations, but I think here with Cyanogen Mod, you're getting everything. You can customize and change and set everything to exactly how you want it to be. So if we're looking at sound, you can see that we have lots of sound options here. A lot of it's standard, but they have also included one app here. We just go back out and into our app drawer. You can see Audio FX, which is actually, if I just turn this on now, you can see that this is a graphic equalizer with plenty of options here. You can see rock, electronic, small speakers. Let's see, if you want to add reverb, you can. If you want to bass the boost, you've also settings for that. So this is a great app if you're an audiophile, if you like listening to music on your smartphone. And face it, who doesn't? Okay, so moving on, display and lights again. You've got the double tap to wake. You can configure the adaptive backlight, which works very well, we've found. So the OnePlus One phone, what do we think? Well, first of all, we have to say congratulations to OnePlus. They've done an absolutely fantastic job with this phone. It is without doubt one of the best phones we have ever used or ever seen, ever reviewed. It does have one or two small flaws and issues, which maybe doesn't make it quite the flagship killer, but then when you consider the price, this is $300 to $350 depending on storage capacity. It's absolutely incredible, let's be honest. Now the display is fantastic. The build quality is much, much better in my opinion, say for example, than the Samsung Galaxy S5. It's right up there. I think it's pretty close to the Xperia 2 and even the HTC One M8. It's not waterproof, so we won't be putting our glass of beer anytime soon. The software is Cyanogen, and although we do have one or two issues, we did find one or two glitches, apps did crash once in a while, but apart from that it looks great and it's giving me... every single option you could possibly imagine. But as you just saw, I was literally just stroking the phone then, as I tend to do. I'm a phone stroker, and yeah, the music app. Oh, it didn't come on that time. Let's try again. Now, it's a good feature, but sometimes I think to have all of these features on by default, CyanogenMed maybe should just take a step back and kind of not quite be as all out as they currently are. Some of these features, maybe the end user can go and discover them for himself, and that would be okay. But I mean, we managed to turn the flashlight on by accident several times, and it happened 4 or 5 times in one day because we weren't aware of this V gesture. Okay, so that's software. The processor is great. This is as good as anything you'll get. It's the same processor that's used on the Galaxy S5. And you're getting 3 gigabytes of RAM, something I think really helps with multitasking and performance in general. You're also getting great battery life, 3,100 milliamp hour battery in a device this size. It's great. It's more than sufficient for easily a full day. You're not going to have to worry about your battery too much, as long as you're not fiddling with your gestures while the bag is in your back pocket, as Nicole found out. It can drain battery life in that way if you're not careful. But as we said, the camera had us really kind of scratching our heads a little bit, because although it wasn't quite the flagship camera that we've seen on the Z2 or on a Nokia, or maybe even on the S5, it's only this far off. It's capable of taking some absolutely phenomenal photos. We were taking action shots at the pool earlier today, and some of the results are actually quite astounding. So the camera might not technically be as flagship, and it isn't quite what we're seeing on competing devices, but it's actually damn good all the same. So in general, I think, we're going to have to give this guy a really, really great score. We're very, very happy with it. And we just wish actually that it was easier to get hold of and that more people out there could get hold of it. I think if we all had the chance, if this was available at our local technology market or mobile phone shop, I think for $300, we would all have a OnePlus One. So here we are concluding our video of the evening with a plate full of lovely xiaolongbao and also dambing, 2 of the great things you can pick up at 4 in the morning here in Taipei City after a little bit of a drinky session. The OnePlus One has been a total revelation for us. We thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been fantastic. We hope you've enjoyed this kind of video. If you do, please let us know in the comments, and if you enjoy this kind of stuff, subscribe to Mobile Geeks. See you later. I'm always going to do it fucking at least 5 times.
Here's your twice, just in case.
Okay, all right. 3, 2, 1.